Good morning. Welcome to the premium public video discussion for Friday, June 16th, 2023. We have a lot to talk about, so let's dive right into it. First of all, we start off with the tropics. As you know, premium members get this discussion every day. So if you're interested in premium consulting meteorology and forecasting analysis, definitely check out that link up top there, or should be over there, over here, over there. Yeah. Basically subscribe for only $11 a month or $80 a year. So there's a lot of different options as well, so definitely check that out. Now, let's talk about the tropics. There is a lot of focus on a tropical wave. A lot of people sharing model guidance well beyond into the 5, 7-day, 10-day period. And I typically don't do that. And the reason why is because I have a general rule when it comes to tropical forecasting, not to trust the synoptic model guidance until you actually get a warm core low actually developed and organized. And the reason why is because we have to see how the structure develops. And that's really important in how a storm has the potential of developing. Now, we're watching this tropical wave right here. It doesn't really have much of a circulation. It might be a little bit of a mid-level spin here, but nothing indicating a circulation at the lower levels of the atmosphere yet. But it's certainly a vigorous tropical wave. There's no doubt about that. And the National Hurricane Center is keeping an eye on about 40% chance of seeing some development of a tropical depression. They're not going beyond anything other than that, hey, there's a 40% chance that conditions might be environmentally more favorable for a slow development of a tropical depression. That's pretty much it. The one thing that it's running into, though, is a whole lot of dry air and shear. Now, this environment here, especially as you head towards the Lesser and Greater Antilles, is not favorable at all. Okay, this is the exact opposite of that. So while this tropical wave is going to be approaching, this area of dry air, when you start seeing deep oranges here, that is some very, very dry air. And dry air and tropical systems don't really work, don't really mix well together. They're kind of the exact opposite of each other. So it's going to be interesting to see how this wave interacts with that dry air and shear. The conditions are expected to improve for a little bit more favorable environment, but you still have this general theme here in the Central Atlantic. And I don't really see that going away all that much. We'll keep an eye on it and see what develops, but that's pretty much all that is to say right now. The Atlantic Ocean is certainly very warm. It is, in some cases, historically warm, so that might be some of the reasons why we're a little bit more aware of this tropical wave. But also, we're dealing with El Nino, and this is a hallmark of it: dry air and a lot of shear. So we'll see how that plays out. Meanwhile, closer to home, we have our own thunderstorms that we're going to be keeping an eye on. We'll take a look at our observations right now. We have increasing cloud cover throughout the region, with temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 60s over the northern interior, mid to upper 60s along the coast. Winds are generally light from the south-southeast, around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And as you can see with our surface map here and radar from WeatherTap, let me just reset that real fast. You can see here's our low pressure system approaching, okay? And we have some very vigorous showers and thunderstorms here setting up. Now, when we take a look at the water vapor satellite picture, let me go back to that and go back towards North America. Well, I think you could see what's causing our severe threat here. And this is one vigorous upper level shortwave here that is diving towards the region. But notice where it's located here, right around northern Ohio and heading in this direction here. That's really important because it kind of sets up where our vertical wind shear is going to really be maximized along with the instability. So when we take a look at those factors and we see this heavy rainfall setting up here, the question of the day is not whether or not you're going to see showers and thunderstorms. You're going to see showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. The question is, where will the most severe thunderstorms set up? And so I've been watching the observations here and taking a look at where is our vertical wind shear setting up. And as you remember from previous cases, when you start getting over 35 knots, in this case we're at 40 and 45 knots here, that usually is a pretty good sign of where your most favorable conditions for vertical wind shear, which allows for turning of the thunderstorms and enhances the thunderstorms to severe levels, typically starts to take shape. So right now, the best locations, or worst locations, depending on how you look at it, looks to be around the Delmarva Peninsula and Maryland and basically the southern mid-Atlantic. Now, we'll have to watch this throughout the day and see if this shifts north at all. But I said this yesterday, and I'm going to say it now. I think that the best potential for severe thunderstorms and your strongest thunderstorms are going to be right around here, okay? And why that's important is that if the thunderstorms become very intense here, then you get sinking motion, sinking air to your north, which suppresses the intensity of the thunderstorms over southern New Jersey. So for right now, the best potential for severe thunderstorms for our region is basically going to be from Atlantic City on south. Okay, so basically this area just south of Philadelphia, right down towards Cape May, in those locations. I mean, because if you get severe thunderstorms popping here, they'll just march across the Delaware Bay, and although they'll start to weaken, they will still be rather vigorous. So we want to be aware of that. Further to the north, from Philadelphia on northward, I think we're looking at run-of-the-mill showers and thunderstorms. But take a look at your precipitable water values starting to increase here. So with this starting to transport northward, that's going to open up the potential for some of these thunderstorms capable of some very heavy downpours. So when we're watching this here, we'll watch this start to collapse, okay? And you'll start to see everything break up, and then you're going to start to see individual cells break out here. And then as this frontal boundary tries to lift northward, that's going to also determine where our 850 millibar jet is going to set up. So let me bring that up here. And as you can see right now, not much brewing here. All right, your strongest winds are well south here in the Ohio River Valley, so not a lot blowing up here. But when we take a look at the model guidance here, there is a focus here of our strongest jet right here, pushing into southern New Jersey and down towards the Delmarva Peninsula. So if this jet intensifies here, then you could support severe thunderstorms in southern New Jersey. If the jet remains back here, then your focus is going to be more towards the Delmarva Peninsula and Delaware. And based on the observations, I think that is where we're going to see that focus. But again, we'll have to keep an eye on it and see how this all works out. Meanwhile, when we take a look at our lifting here, at all levels of the atmosphere, we have strong divergence and diffluence. It all supports the development of thunderstorms. You can see the warm air transport trying to push northward, but kind of gets blunted. That's been the theme this entire summer. And we have this positively tilted trough, which tells us another thing. These showers and thunderstorms are going to be moving quickly. And the fact that it's a positively tilted trough also influences our weekend forecast, where it looked like it'd be more widespread rainfall for the weekend. Now it looks more scattered in nature because the whole dynamics of the atmosphere are going to be marching its way eastward a little bit faster. So yes, we do see an 850 millibar low developing over the region tonight into tomorrow, and that will certainly keep showers in play, but it won't lead to a widespread rainfall event. Instead, it will lead to more scattered showers, but within those showers, they'll be capable of heavy downpours. So if you have plans for today and for tomorrow, you definitely want to keep your umbrella handy because you're going to be dodging showers and thunderstorms, but it won't be a washout for the whole day. So if you have any outdoor plans, I know everyone's asking about concerts and sports games and weddings and everything else, have an umbrella handy. I can't rule out rainfall for whatever thing you might be doing, but it won't be a complete washout. So you might be lucky enough to dodge a few of these showers and thunderstorms. Sunday looks like the best day. Why? Because the upper level low will be to the east, and what you end up with is what we call convergence and confluence, okay? So that's sinking air. When the air comes in like this, right, that means that you have a log jam at the upper levels, and the only way to go is sink, and so that leads to subsidence and drier conditions. And then for the rest of the forecast here, we basically have an upper level low off to our east. Meanwhile, the subtropical jet stream will be setting up another upper level low to our south. And so what that leads to is a lot of unsettled conditions, and we have to watch out to see how this upper level low to our south develops, as there's a wide variety of different solutions in that respect. And the reason why that's important is because it dictates how this upper level ridge develops. If it's a little bit stronger and pushes over us, we end up with dry conditions for the most part and warm temperatures back into the 80s, maybe a few locations pushing 90 degrees. If the upper level low and associated trough is a little bit further north, then you end up with a lot of scattered showers. So I kind of split the hairs here and basically went with scattered cloud cover, isolated showers, and general range of temperatures during this period. So now we got the idea of what's behind this forecast. Let's take a look at the actual forecast. So for today, we're going to be watching the HRR, and there's definitely going to be showers and thunderstorms, but we're going to see where the thunderstorms are most intense. All right, so definitely with these showers and thunderstorms, expect for heavy downpours, occasional to frequent lightning, wind gusts over 40 miles per hour. In the few cells that do get severe, and I'm looking at southern New Jersey, Atlantic City on southward especially, those thunderstorms will be featuring small hail and the potential for wind gusts pushing over 65 miles per hour. Temperatures today will range from the upper 60s to mid 70s over the northern interior, mid to upper 70s along the coast, and upper 70s to lower 80s in the Delaware River Valley. So those showers and thunderstorms will be marching their way through. And so again, if you have any outdoor plans this afternoon and evening, be prepared. All right, it's not going to be, as you can see, it's not a complete washout here, but some of these thunderstorms will be capable of dropping a quick inch of rain in these scenarios here, and some localized urban flooding. So definitely be prepared for that. Once those showers and thunderstorms blow on through, then we take a look at tonight into tomorrow morning, and you can see that low pressure system hanging around Long Island. But again, because of the positively tilted trough, the low pressure system is a little bit more progressive and it is able to push a little bit further east. So then as a result, the bulk of your showers are focused over New England, and you end up with scattered showers over the Philadelphia and New York City metro for tomorrow. Temperatures will range from the mid to upper 50s over the northern interior, lower 60s along the coast. High temperatures will range from the lower to mid 70s over the northern interior, lower to mid 70s along the coast, and upper 70s to lower 80s in the Delaware River Valley. If you're in Connecticut, you're more likely to be in the upper 60s to lower 70s, especially northeastern Connecticut, where the showers and the cloud cover will be more widespread. So just be prepared for that. But the rest of the region, what looked like to be a very wet Saturday, more like a scattered shower. I can't say you won't see rainfall, but I can say that it won't be raining the whole day. On Sunday, that low pressure system moves further east, and we're going to keep the threat for an isolated shower in the forecast because I got a lot of troughs hanging around here on the shortwaves, and precipitable water value is still around a ½ inch to an inch. So what that basically means is that if you get a shower developing, it will be capable of a quick heavy downpour, but not everyone will see them, okay? Temperatures will range from the mid to upper 50s over the northern interior, upper 50s to lower 60s along the coast for lows. High temperatures will range from the mid to upper 70s over the northern interior, mid to upper 70s along the coast, and lower to mid 80s in the Delaware River Valley. On Monday, again, we're going to be keeping an eye on a few isolated showers here and there with troughs rotating through the region. Other than that, a mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures will range from the lower to mid 50s over the northern interior, upper 50s to lower 60s along the coast. High temperatures will range from the upper 70s to lower 80s over the northern interior, upper 70s to lower 80s along the coast, and mid to upper 80s in the Delaware River Valley. Now, for Tuesday on through Friday, next Friday, this is where the forecast gets a little tricky. Because we got waves of low pressure to the south of us, and we have high pressure to the north, and we're kind of stuck in between. And depending on which model run you want to use or which model you use, you have a wide variety of solutions. Because if the low pressure system is further north, more rainfall, further south, less rainfall. So, like I said, going with a mix of sun and clouds throughout much of next week with isolated showers of threat each day. The closer you are to the coast, the more likely to see those showers. Temperatures through the period will range from the upper 50s to lower 60s over the northern interior and lower to mid 60s along the coast. High temperatures will range from the upper 60s to mid 70s over the northern interior, lower to mid 70s along the immediate coast, and then this is where things get a little bit tricky, where we'll range from the upper 70s to mid 80s in the Delaware River Valley. Now, If we get more high pressure involved here, all those temperatures are basically pushed up towards the 80s, possibly even touching 90 degrees because we have more sinking air. If we get more rainfall, then we end up cooler and a bit raw with a perpetual east wind that will just keep on keeping us in a maritime air mass. So we'll have more data on this as we go forward through the weekend and get a better idea of what's actually going to set up. So don't be surprised in your, I guess, called cell phone apps, that you see a change in the forecast during the 5 to 7 day period by swings of 10 degrees, depending on which model it decides to pull in at any given hour. So that's why you're seeing all that volatility, because once we get a better idea of where these features set up, then we get a better idea of the actual forecast. And so that's where I come in to basically make sense of it all. That is your forecast discussion for today. We'll keep an eye on those showers and thunderstorms for later on this afternoon, and we'll see how it all plays out. In the meantime, stay safe out there.